Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day so far today. One of my friends recently asked me how I managed to live so frugally and to save so much of my money, and I figured I would make a video about this topic because it's something many people struggle with, and it's true that if you do not save any money or invest any money, then you have no chance of retiring later in life unless something drastically changes in your life, such as the government starts taking care of you, or you find a sugar mama or a sugar daddy, or you win the lottery or something. How you're going right now, if you're not saving, you're literally going to have to work until the day you die just to pay your bills. So what you have to realize going into this is that if you spend less money, you will make more money in the future through investment. So every time that you look at something that you're going to buy, say it's $100 for a pair of shoes or whatever it is, say $200 for a PlayStation or whatever, look at it and say, would I rather have that money or that item right now, or would I rather have 10 times that amount of money in the future? Because at an 8% rate of return, which is the average the stock market has returned over the last 100 years or whatever, after 30 years, you will have 10 times that amount of money. For every dollar, you'll have $10. And 30 years from now isn't really that long. I'm 27 right now, so that's when I'm 57. That's still below the average rate of retirement. So if you're 18, that means that 30 years from now will be 48. It's not really that long. And when you jump ahead to the 40-year mark, so just 10 more years, it doubles up to like $22 or something. Compounding interest is absolutely amazing. And if you're not compounding your interest up, but you're in credit card debt, it's really compounding against you and you're digging yourself deeper and deeper into a hole. So what I like to do is go by the rule of 5. I learned this from the minority mindset, that if you can't buy 5 of something, you really can't afford to buy 1 of it. And so like with a car, if you can't afford to buy 5 of that vehicle, you can't afford to buy 1. So if your car costs $25,000, if you can't afford a $125,000 car payment, you shouldn't be buying a $25,000 car. Just go ahead and buy a $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 car to get you from A to B. Maybe a $5,000 or $10,000 car. But live within your means. Another thing that you have to realize is for every decision of your life, you have to work for that money. So if you go out to eat and it costs $20, you have to realize that not only is that $20 that you spent, but it's being taxed too, because you have to make, say, $25 so that after taxes you have 20 left over. So of that $25, how many hours did it take you to make that money? I once had a friend who worked as a sous chef, a chef prep cook, and he made maybe $15 an hour. I don't know how much he made. He wouldn't tell me, even though I asked. And he would order Uber Eats sushi at night, and it was like 70 or 80 bucks. And I was just thinking to myself, like, dude, you literally worked all day just so you can buy sushi. So if something costs $150 and you make $15 an hour, imagine that you have to work 12 or 13 hours to be able to afford that after taxes. And is it really worth 12 or 13 hours of your life? Because you only get so many hours in your life, and how you spend it will dictate your happiness and your ability to retire in the future. And another thing that really helps save more money is with big purchases, sleep on it for a night. This will really help with impulse buying decisions. If you want to buy something, think about it for a day or two, and if you still want to buy it after a couple days, then go ahead and treat yourself. And another thing that you need to look at is how often do you actually use the item? Like, how many times have you been inside of a person's house who just has tons and tons of stuff that they don't actually use? So like, divide the usage the cost by how many times you used it. So like, say you use something 5 times and it cost you $100. That means that every time you used it, it cost you $20 per time of use. So start thinking about it like that, and it'll really help you realize that you don't actually need something as bad as you might think you do. But another good thing that will really help with impulse decisions is go into someone's house who's like a hoarder, look at all their stuff, all their different material possessions, and start tracking in your mind how much they paid for all of it. Imagine how many hours they would have to work to get all of this stuff, and ask yourself, is it really worth it? Does it bring joy to my life to have these items? Do I actually use them regularly? Or am I just buying it because I don't have other things to do? Another big important one is try to limit your consumable purchases like alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, fast food. All of that is just draining you dry. It's slowly bleeding you. I've known people who spend most of their paycheck between alcohol, cigarettes, and cocaine. Literally. Oh, and eating out. They spend 90 to 100% of their paycheck on just those items. So you have to really look at it and think to yourself, is it worth my future for this? Another thing is, it's like an investment. You have to invest in your health so that later in life you will live a healthy life, and you have to financially invest in yourself so that later in life you have a chance of retirement if that's what you want. Some people, they just enjoy living fast and dying young. I don't really go by that philosophy. I think that it's good to invest into good health and to invest into a healthy financial position. So another one that really helps that I forgot to mention, so I looked at my little notes down here. Another two of them. One, have a budget and always follow your budget. A lot of people don't even realize how much money they're spending because they never actually look at their credit card statements. They just pay the bill and they don't budget for anything. Have a budget, a realistic budget. Have like 20% set aside for savings, and it will go a long way towards helping you in the future. Another one that really helps with a lot of people is with any individual item. Imagine if someone came up to you and paid you the same amount of money to just not buy the item. Which one would you rather have? Someone else's money just given to you, or the item? So if it costs $100, would you rather have the item or the $100? And I'm not saying that you should never treat yourself, okay? There are things that I still find worth buying. Even though I realize that 30 years down the road I'm wasting 10 times that amount, I still go to music festivals because I see it as a vacation. I see it as a fun experience. I'd rather go while I'm young than just save all that money for when I'm older. So I do treat myself to music festivals quite often, and I do treat myself to other things, such as a gym membership. I see it as money well spent because when I'm in my older days, I would rather have a healthy body than to just save that $30 a month. Even though it's really $300 a month of future value money 30 years from now, I consider it as money well spent. So you have to look at each individual decision and ask yourself, is it really worth it? And don't be too cheap. You have to treat yourself every now and then. So anyway, I don't want to ramble on and on. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope it helps some of y'all to get different ideas on how to save more money and live a more frugal life and invest in yourself. And if you did appreciate some of my tips and tricks, if you liked the video, throw me a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that. And until next time, peace.